Pamela's recital. Pamela is an accomplished violinist. She has been playing the stringed instrument for almost 6 years. Even as a beginner, those around her knew that she had a special gift, and her parents, especially her father, nurtured it. For the past month, she has spent every spare moment practicing for an upcoming recital. During her lunch breaks, while others were napping, Pamela could be found under a tree in the schoolyard, polishing up her skills. The recital is everything to her, and if it is a complete flop, it won't be for lack of trying. Before going on stage, Pamela paced back and forth. The butterflies in her stomach were making her uneasy and quite nauseous. Her father assured her that it was just a case of performance anxiety, and said she shouldn't dwell on it. Although she believed him, she couldn't stop worrying. "Okay, you're on," the event organizer announced. Taking a deep breath, Pam stepped up onto the stage with her violin in hand. She stopped in front of the music stand and turned to face it, trying to avoid making eye contact with anyone in the crowd so as not to feed the already wild butterflies frolicking in her belly. The notes on the sheet music were all she wanted to see. For a minute she seemed to freeze. Her muscles held her rigidly in place. Everyone in the crowd was silent, sensing Pamela's stage fright. But they seemed supportive enough, and their smiles encouraged her to break free of the icy hold. She ignored the voice in her head that was telling her to run, and placed the violin's body under her chin. Pamela rested the bow on the strings and closed her eyes. With the first pull, a cloud of rosin wafted into the air. Robotic initially, her tempo eased into a silky rhythm, and the room slowly filled with sound. Each note danced from the violin across the recital hall, joining the butterflies that were merrily fluttering about, and no longer confined within her belly. With every passing note, Pamela's confidence grew. She worked the fretboard like a master, crafting and sculpting each measure into a living entity. The accompanying piano subtly augmented the performance beautifully without dominating it. As the tempo quickened, the audience gasped in awe. Pam's fingers moved so quickly that they seemed to blur. Faster and faster she played. The music became a frenzy of emotion, building to a climax, and then it was over. Sweat rolled off her brow as she raised her head to look at everyone for the first time. Initially, the crowd just stared. They couldn't believe that this beautiful young girl was capable of playing with such reckless abandon. Then a single clap echoed in the room, then two, until the whole building was a roar of applause. Pamela bowed appreciatively, and her father rushed onto the stage to embrace her. A proud tear rolled down his face, and she wiped it away and smiled. Somehow, they both knew that it was the start of something big. Vocabulary: accomplished, accomplished. Stringed, stringed. Nurture, nurture. Recital, recital. Polish, polish. Flop, flop. Nauseous, nauseous. Assure, assure. Dwell on, dwell on. Organizer, organizer. Announce, announce. Frolic, frolic. Rigidly, rigidly. Stage fright, stage fright. Waft, waft. Initially, initially. Flutter, flutter. Confine, confine. fret, fret. Craft, craft. Measure, measure. Accompany, accompany. Augment, augment. Dominate, dominate. Reckless, reckless. Abandon, abandon.